The BBC has announced a new Doctor Who behind-the-scenes show titled Doctor Who Unleashed. This is essentially a new incarnation of the much-loved Doctor Who Confidential, the behind-the-scenes show that accompanied every episode of Doctor Who from Series 1 to 6. And we sort of knew it was happening. There were murmurings, I think as early as the very first public filming for the 60th in Camden in May of last year. The presenter, who I'll come on to when I read the press release, was spotted on location and behind-the-scenes cameras were spotted on location. I think people saw things like Russell T Davies there being interviewed, and I'm pretty sure as well during the more recent filming for Series 14, fans have actually been participating in this stuff, and people have been interviewing them and asking them for their thoughts on things like Bonnie Langford's return. So we sort of knew this was happening, but nevertheless it's great to finally have it confirmed, and yeah, just really, really great to have proper behind-the-scenes content for Doctor Who again, because like I say, we had Doctor Who Confidential back in the day, and then that was cut basically at a time I think when BBC Three was making cuts. Obviously the channel then moved online for a bit and now is back. But yeah, there were various things going on like that at the BBC, I think, and it had come to something of a natural end, I think. It had a good innings, it had been around for a few years. But nevertheless, people, myself included, were really sad to see it go. There were sort of other things, in the years since the Capaldi era. We had Doctor Who Extra, which I think was it a Red Button or iPlayer type thing? It was more of an online sort of series, I think. A similar idea to Confidential, but a little bit more kind of surface level, not as in-depth, because Confidential was always really great for showing you the nitty-gritty of how things were done and interviewing people and just showing people from every department of the production team, from the artists and the graphic designers to directors, editors, script editors, writers, and lots more besides. And, whenever I go back and watch those episodes, I'm always really surprised by how in-depth they were. They really were fantastic. So like I say, we have had, behind-the-scenes content for Doctor Who in the years since, but nowhere near to that level. We had Doctor Who Extra. We had kind of more online sort of YouTube video style stuff, I think, for the Whittaker era. It was still nice to have, and I think people get that stuff, a bit of a hard time, really. It was okay for what it was, interviews with the writers and things, and the actors, and people like Chris Chibnall, obviously the showrunner. But yeah, the level that we had with Doctor Who Confidential in terms of kind of access all areas type stuff wasn't quite matched, and it remained unmatched until today. But hopefully going forward with this new show, Doctor Who Unleashed, we will be getting that in-depth Doctor Who behind-the-scenes content that we've all been craving for so long. So Doctor Who Unleashed will be landing on both BBC Three and iPlayer this November, which is an interesting move. It's kind of like a combination of both approaches. The approach for Doctor Who Confidential, which was always broadcast on BBC Three, and then stuff like Doctor Who Extra or the more online stuff, that was always on iPlayer or YouTube or whatever. So it's kind of catering for both those audiences, I suppose. Just as you come out from behind the sofa, it's time to step behind the scenes. A brand new Access All Areas show, Doctor Who Unleashed, will give viewers an admissible insight into the world of Doctor Who. Doctor Who Unleashed is a new 30-minute factual entertainment series produced by Bright Branch for BBC Studios for BBC Three and BBC iPlayer. Host Stefan Powell, BBC gaming correspondent and former Radio 1 Newsbeat presenter, has been given the keys to the TARDIS, and after every episode of Doctor Who, viewers can switch over to BBC Three or iPlayer as Stefan takes them on a journey, showing them just how this out-of-this-world drama is made. With exclusive interviews with the stars in front of the camera, as well as those behind it, Unleashed is the ultimate companion to Doctor Who. And then to go alongside that, we have a few images. So the host, Stefan Powell, stood in front of the TARDIS. He's not someone that I am personally aware of, but I'm sure he'll be great. He's got a good track record by the sound of things. And he was the one that was spotted on set from afar, like by fans, and like blurry photos and stuff, like pixelated photos. I'm pretty sure some people thought to begin with it was like Louis Theroux or someone, but no, obviously it wasn't. It was this dude, and yeah, don't know him at all, but I'm sure it'll be great. We have a shot of Stefan in the TARDIS from that Camden filming shoot alongside David Tennant, who is laughing at something undisclosed. And then we have the logo, which is basically the Doctor Who Diamond logo, the standard variant of that, with Unleashed underneath in kind of pink sort of word art style font, text, whatever. It is a bit peculiar. They could have spent a bit more money on this, I think, made it look a little bit nicer, a little bit flashier, because, like I say, it literally just is the logo, but with like Unleashed kind of stuck on the top, kind of just casually, and it's a bit kind of unflattering. Not the best logo, but I suppose it'll do. RTD says, over the years, I meet so many people who are inspired to find careers in TV because of the behind-the-scenes material the BBC would show. And now it's back, in the grand old tradition of Doctor Who Confidential, but in a brand new form. Unleashed. so a whole new generation, and faithful fans of old, can see what the stars and the crew get up to behind the cameras. Host Stephen Powell says, "When you're told Russell T Davies is asking for you to present a show, you say, when does he want me? Doesn't matter, I'll be there. There's a really fun and fascinating group of people bringing Doctor Who to life. I can't wait for the audience to meet them. I'm so chuffed to have been trusted to help tell, in all its glory, the story of what goes into making the magic happen." And then we also have some quotes from some executives. So Joe Pearce, who is to do with Bright Branch Creative, the production team or company, whatever, who are bringing this show to life, and Fiona Campbell, who is the youth audience BBC iPlayer and BBC Three person. So yes, in a nutshell, a new behind-the-scenes show for Doctor Who, fronted by Stephen Powell, who has a pedigree track record of doing stuff for the BBC, for radio and gaming, I think it was. And yeah, 30 minutes accompanying each episode, broadcast on BBC Three and iPlayer straight afterwards, just in that tradition, like RTD says, of Doctor Who Confidential from back in the day. Really, really exciting to see this go ahead. It's something that fans have been wanting for a long time. Like I say, there's been a massive hole left by Doctor Who Confidential back in 2011, and it's just great to have it filled. I think I kind of know what the answer's going to be to this, but what do you think about this news? Are you happy to see a new Doctor Who Confidential style show? Are you looking forward to this? Do you think it's going to be good? I'm sure it will be. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments, as well as all your memories about Doctor Who Confidential, and by any chance, is anyone watching this? Anyone that kind of grew up with the show and was inspired to work in TV? I'd love to hear your story if that's you. If you have enjoyed this video, please do leave a like, and please subscribe if you haven't already for more stuff like this in the future. But otherwise, until the next one, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now.